In these last days, I think it's easy to say that there is an explosion of false prophets. What is a false prophet? A false prophet is somebody who predicts the future falsely. It doesn't come to pass. Now, in the Old Testament, under the law, God would give a person a direct word, audible as far as we know it. There was no mystery or anything to what God meant or what he was saying. The prophet would get the direct word and go to the people and tell them. Now, if that prophecy did not come to pass, the man was killed. It was a very serious issue. This is a very serious thing, even today, especially today. Now, today we're under grace. We're not under the law. However, that doesn't give us the liberty to sin. It doesn't give us the freedom to purposely mislead people in any way, shape, or form. Nothing like that when we make a prophecy. Now, it's important for us to look at what the Apostle Paul writes concerning this issue, because he nails it right on the bat. He tells you exactly how to discern, how to know if it's a true prophet. And it's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 19. It says this: "Quench not the spirit, despise not prophesying, prove all things, hold fast that which is good." Prove all things. That goes for the person prophesying, and that goes from the person who is believing the prophecy or listening to the prophecy. They both need to prove it. How do you prove it? Well, one of the easiest ways to get off the hook is just with no evidence and wait for that time to happen with no actual evidence. And if it doesn't happen, then they're false. That's the easy way out. Today we have so many vessels of ways, so many things that we can use to prove a prophecy if we're prophesying. And we can use all these tools. Tools, that's the word I'm looking for. Tools. We like things that I show people. I use the Strong's Concordance. I use the Gematria calculator. I'll use the Bible, of course. Sometimes I'll use current events. But another major thing is the sun, the moon, and the stars. You see, because that's why they were invented. Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 7. One of the main reasons that they're there for: signs, seasons, days, and years. So the word seasons actually means appointed times or appointed feasts. Okay? So these are all tools that God has given us today that we should use to convince the gainsayers of what we're saying is true. If a person truly cares about what they're trying to share, then they're going to give you very good evidence to make their case. Very good evidence. Now, I don't put exact dates on, like, for instance, I'll show a lot of evidence I have for certain days and a certain time period that I believe the rapture could be on. But I don't say 100% this is the day of the rapture. And of course, we all go back to the idea where Jesus said, "No man knows the day or hour." Everybody knows that verse, which is a good thing. And he also says it comes as a thief. But there's more to that, actually, because that actually is talking about the sighting of the new moon. See, the new moon on the Feast of Trumpets, which is an appointed feast, which, again, you can tell by the moon, the sun, and the stars. They didn't know the day or hour because within a 2-day period, they had to look for the new moon. So they didn't know the day within those 2 days or the hour. That's why they had to watch. That's why Jesus says watch. So we should watch new moons. We should watch appointed feast days. And as you've seen in my videos, there's much more that I've shown about, the gematria calculator, the number miracles that I've seen, and the Strong's Concordance, amazing patterns, miracles that I've seen that I've been led to look up. But I don't say for sure this is a day. So the rapture is the big one right now, right? So this is something that everybody has to remember. The person who you are listening to, have they proven their point? Have they made their case? Imagine a court of law. You have to have lots of evidence to back up your case in order to convince people. So in your mind, did they do that? And again, this comes down, it's subjective because everybody's not as sharp as everybody else. And some people are sharper than others, so and so. So prove all things, both of you guys. Secondly, one thing to watch out for a false prophet is when they promote themselves way too much. In other words, they'll tell you all about themselves and why they're a prophet and how God this and God that, over the top with these things, right? They have the need to tell you all this information to like them more than decide if the prophecy is true or not, if they've proven their case. So this is something to watch out for. And I say this: for their credibility as a prophet or to make a correct prophecy, only one thing matters. I don't care about all the other stuff, why you're doing it, your life story, God, all these things in your life. One thing only matters in prophesying, and that is it true or not? That's it. The credibility of that prophet lies in their work. That's it. Just their work. You'll almost never see me talk about myself, why God put me here, all these things to try and convince you about me. No, you're convinced about me only through my work. Is it true or not? That's it. One thing. That's it. You see, and I see this so much that people, it's almost like they want you to like them, right? So it makes the actual prophecies that they're saying secondary. So if they get it wrong, or if they're, if it's off or whatever, well, you still like them first of all. You see, it's a tactic. It should be the other way around. Was their work correct? Did it come true? Or is what they're saying true? How is their case? And liking them should be based on that. See? It's not necessarily bad when a person wants to open up a little bit about themselves and about their relationship with God and the things that they go through and how God has blessed them with all this knowledge, right? It's not necessarily a bad thing, but is their work as convincing as their life story? That's the key issue.